All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. So, I got some questions on my last videos, which is awesome because it gives me some things to talk about. So, I'll be answering these questions. The first question is uh, do I partake in the delights of thou Benjamin? Now, I don't actually know what Benjamins are, so I had to look it up. It's marijuana. The answer is yes. And then the follow-up question is why or why not? Um, I think it's important to not, like this is about programming, this is about like work and all this stuff, but I think it's important to do everything, including fun things. So that is why I partake in Thou Benjamin. Another question is, well, I guess it's not really a question, but someone wanted to know about um, more coding and Solidity, and my experience with it, which is probably a little more relevant to the channel. Um, um, well, don't really. Here it is. Talk more about coding and Solidity, and working with the blockchain, and working in the blockchain space. So, um, my experience programming in Solidity comes from Speedrun Ethereum and well, I guess I'll start at the beginning. So I started with Crypto Zombies. It's a free tool where it kind of just teaches you Solidity syntax. So if you do Solidity, um, I think you should maybe not start with Solidity. I mean, my opinion on this is everyone has a different, like, what's the best programming language to start programming in? The answers is any one of them. They're all going to be hard at first, so you know, it's whatever you want it. Um, yeah, Crypto Zombies, and then I went into Speedrun Ethereum, where you directly go into like building real world uh decentralized applications. And after the fourth challenge of Speedrun Ethereum, I got a little antsy and I wanted to build my own smart contract, something original. So I built block, paper, scissors. Every time I learn a programming language, I try to build rock, paper, scissors in that language because I think it covers. I think building rock, paper, scissors covers most of the very surface level features of a language. You'll usually do all of them by building rock, paper, scissors. And then I went to go build well, I don't want to just talk about these projects the whole video, but it brought an idea to mind, which is a video series for beginner programmers or people who are, mid or like halfway through their programming journey in terms of like getting a job and like starting from zero, like halfway in between, for this range of people where I break down projects that I break down my own projects that I did to learn programming, and I'm really happy I put them on GitHub because, and I'll link my GitHub. They're all on my GitHub, and this is really cool because I can make a video series. I'm planning on calling it like reading code or something like that because reading code is something that I just learned to do very recently. Like, obviously, I've always been able to read code, but I mean, like, actually look at new code and understanding what it does. I just learned to do that like a week or two ago because before I would get like super caught up in just like little details and it would like prevent me from moving forward. I don't know if I talked about this in my last video. Maybe I've already made this point, but I could basically just go through my old programming projects and be like, this is where I started, right? Like this is this project. It's super simple, super bare bones. I made these mistakes here. I probably could have done this better. This was my thought process behind this, and just, openly show off like, look, this is honestly what a beginner programmer project looks like. I think that could be a very valuable YouTube series, and I've never seen one before. Maybe I've seen like a few like here's my project 2.0 where someone's like, hey, 2 years ago I built this project, now I'm going to rebuild it with my new knowledge, but they don't really cover their old code. And I think there's something very valuable in looking at beginner code and deconstructing it. And obviously for advanced programmers this is like useless, but for beginner programmers, which is kind of like my passion, is like beginner programmer stuff. And it's actually kind of funny because they say that like when you're bad at something, you like go become a teacher because you you're just like sticking to like the basics. Like I wouldn't be able to explain like very complicated programmer stuff, but I can explain the like simple stuff, and maybe that's not done enough. So I would be very, very happy to do that. And I also really like getting people excited about programming because I was excited doing it too. And I think it's so odd to me because I come from a background of like, philosophy, English, humanities, and I've always been bad at like logic and math. And so it's just like really ironic that I program now. And I just it just goes to show that like you don't need to be some kind of like major logic person to like program. Like anyone can program. Never in a million years would I thought that I would be programming. My dad had always been trying to get me into computers, and I was like, dude, the last thing I'm doing with my life is spending all day in front of a computer writing code. That sucks. And I'm doing it. And I'm having fun with it too, so it's like insane. Um, so I like getting people excited about programming. I like introducing people to programming. I was shilled on programming. Um, so I wonder if that thumbs up popped up. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, it's just really cool. So I'd be super down to do that. So I'll go over, where I started, like, oh, these are my HTML projects, these are my CSS projects. This is the first, in another project, this is the first time I wrote JavaScript code to actually interact with my HTML and CSS, right? This is um the first, not full stack, but this is, this is like a full application. And then I could go into my Solidity projects. Like, here's my first Solidity projects. Here's what I struggled with. Here's where I learned some stuff. In one of my first Solidity projects, uh, I figured out like I needed to use a graph structure, a graph data structure, and this is something they talk about in the computer science degrees and those majors. But I talked to a lot of CS majors, and like they learn what this stuff is, but they don't actually know how to like build this. And even on YouTube, I was like, okay, I need to use a graph data structure to build this app that I want. And I found so many explanations of graph data structures, and there was like freaking two videos on all of YouTube that like actually demonstrated how to actually use variables, like the actual technical build of a graph data structure. And this goes to speak on um, learning through building, because I think a lot of what school is a lot of theory, but you don't and and this theory, this math, it's way harder to learn when you're learning it arbitrarily or for a test. It's so much harder to learn than when you have a problem that you need to overcome, and then you need to learn things to overcome this problem. learning difficult things when you have a problem that you're trying to solve in mind is, in my opinion, just super OP. It's like the best way to learn anything is to um, have a problem that forces you to learn that. And so I learned how to use graph data structures by, having a problem that I need to solve. Um, so that's a really good Solidity project. And then I can get into some Rust things that I did later. I can go into all of my Web3 knowledge, and this would, be also very helpful for myself to like actually like think about what I know and then explaining it. They always say like one of the best ways to learn is to teach. So I could do that, and that would be a really sick YouTube series. That would be way more valuable than me talking to a camera, which I'm still going to continue doing. Um, but these videos don't take that, like, these videos have no editing. As soon as I'm done recording it, I just post it. And I don't know, I guess I could just do like a whole overview of like, here's everything that I know about, you know, what I use in my career. It's like video editing, writing. I love writing, programming. I'm starting to build up a vision of what this channel can be. And thank you so much to the person who commented that, because this is, as I go through this journey and I'm uncovering things, it's giving me ideas and inspirations, and it's really exciting. All right, this is 11 minutes. This went by really quickly. Super exciting stuff. Thank you, and I'll probably release another video today actually going into this stuff. Thanks for watching, guys.